New degenerative.
Oh look, we've got to sign these, I think.
Anything you'd like to say in this message that's very kind of you?
It's at nose level.
Hello?
Hello.
Is this on?
See, he's a consummate professional, this man. Consummate professional. Gentlemen, first and foremost, welcome to Capital Sci-Fi. How has your 70 been so far?
Brilliant!
Excellent.
No, it's you. Right, I was wondering where that came from.
That would be myself.
I thought, oh God, it's a
This is going to be a very quick conversation if they just give me one-word answers.
Yes.
What was your time on Doctor Who like?
Great.
Great.
There we go. Oh dear God, okay, another 30 minutes to go. Ben, you are our resident classic Doctor Who aficionado.
It is extraordinarily good to meet you. As I told the audience, Sylvester, you are very much my doctor. My first ever Doctor Who experience was Remembrance of the Daleks. Terry, I am scared stiff by Davros. Thank you for giving me joy, though. Thank you for giving me nightmares.
My job is done.
He still gives me nightmares.
I keep popping round his house. Whoa!
Exterminate.
Yeah, again.
I'm sorry I'm late. Oh no, I'm sorry I'm late.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Are we on? Hello, testing.
Hello? Am I on?
Oh, okay.
I'm not on.
Hello? Hello? Afternoon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she said, and I went,
But somehow I knew that this panel was going to cause me nothing but trouble.
Thank you for being here. There's a bit of a...
Sylvester McCoy, the technician's worst nightmare.
Actually, I worked years ago. I worked with an assistant film cameraman who was able to whistle without moving his lips, like feedback. And he would do that while they were setting up shots. And the poor sound guys were going bonkers. Because they were going around cleaning all the equipment, trying to work out where the feedback was coming from.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Oh, yes, this works. There we are.
I think we are all mic'd now.
We are all mic'd.
We are.
Yeah.
Well, let's get the ball rolling, gentlemen. What was it like for your audition to be in the BBC extravaganza known as Doctor Who?
Audition?
The audition.
You auditioned before me.
I didn't audition at all.
All right.
No, I just finished doing a series called Radio Phoenix down at TBS with a director called Matthew Robinson. And he just rang me up out of the blue after we'd done this. And I was playing this idiot of a disc jockey, did all sorts of funny choices. And hello, am I on? Have I turned myself off? Hello?
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. And he rang up, he said, do you know anything about Doctor Who? I said, yeah, I was like 16 when it started, yeah. He said, do you know about the Daleks? I said, well, of course, yeah. He said, do you know anything about Davros? I said, who? I said, because I stopped watching after Pat Charlton, so I'd never seen Davros, you know. And he said, well, Michael Wisher, who was meant to be doing this. What happened was, I only got into Doctor Who courtesy of the BBC technicians. They had a strike. So it was originally going to be Michael Wisher playing Davros. But the BBC technicians went on strike for something or other, like more coffee in their tea or whatever. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I had a lot of money. So they moved the whole production back a month, by which time the director had gone on to something else. Michael Wisher was on tour in Australia. Matthew Robinson came in as director and pulled me in. He said, well, just come down here, have a look at this. He showed me Michael Wisher. He said, do you want to do it? And I said, no, I think Sylvester McCoy could do it. I said, really good. But,
I know. Well, I auditioned for the film.
yeah? Which one?
Your part.
My part?
Yeah. He said that he's very lippy. This new Dalek, this new Emperor of the Daleks. He's very lippy. We want to get rid of him. Would you do the job?
Okay.
And then so I said, yeah, I'll do that job. And then they changed their mind. They said, oh well, you better do this other job. I said, what's that? I said, Doctor Who. That's how I didn't get it.
Oh.
Well, commiserations.
I know. Trust us, we're actors.
I mean, I got Doctor Who because I heard on the news that Colin Baker was leaving.
And so I phoned up my agent and said, hey, there's a job going at the BBC. And he said, what is it? I said, it's a thing called Doctor Who. So he phones up John Nathan Turner and says, John, I think you should see Sylvester McCoy. And so John said, who? And my agent said, yes. But then I hung up the phone. And then the next phone call came from a producer who I'd worked with a lot on Vision On, Vision On, Eureka, Jigsaw, Holograms, Clive Doig. And Clive phoned John Nathan Turner and said, listen, I think you should see Sylvester McCoy. And he just hung up. That was the coincidence. So but just by synchronicity, John suddenly got interested, because he was a bit like that. Yeah. And luckily I was doing a play at the National where I played the Pied Piper. And John came along to see it. I learned this much later. He went back to the office and said, I've found my new doctor. And I was wearing a multicoloured coat in this. So he saw me dressed as Colin Baker. So that's how I got the job, really. So then they gave me the job. Colin didn't turn up for no, and so they put me in his costume, and they lost me for 3 days. And then they found me, and then they stuck a wig on me. I looked like Harpo Marx, you know. And then so I'm the one actor who's played 2 doctors. Although I've just learned. Thank you. Yes. So trivial, but actually I did learn from Paul McGann just the other day. He played John Hurt in a changeover. Yeah, so he did the same as I did, I think.
Yes.
So now there are 2 of us who've played 2 doctors. I hate him. I doubly hate him because he took over my role. So I trebly hate him because if you see a photograph of me and him standing together outside the TARDIS, they've stuck him on a box to make him look taller.
So with all these regenerations, and there must be now about 16 doctors?
I've no idea, 25.
Probably.
I've no idea.
14, but who's that?
14?
14 doctors.
14.
Well, I thought they're only supposed to regenerate 12 times or something.
We got a new regeneration cycle.
Imagine that, yeah. Who came up with that idea?
And it was to find out that this is a side story, but somebody did ask Stephen Moffat, and the doctor only has a few in a number of lines as to what's going to happen when it runs out. And I love Stephen Moffat this. He actually said, there's a secret envelope in the BBC. When that happens, we get the envelope, we open it up, and inside it is written the phrase, we'll make something up. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Brilliant. Actually, I'm slightly lifted Moffat. Because when for when what's his name, the Welsh guy took it over, Russell T Davies. You know what did Russell T Davies do? He moved it to Wales. Great, and he's started an industry, television and film industry down in Cardiff. Brilliant, that's absolutely brilliant. And the only problem was that I always thought the Daleks, your people. Well, I mean, I didn't think they were quite that frightening when they were Welsh. You know, exterminate by you. You know. Come on. And then I thought, if Peter Moffat takes over, he'll move it to Scotland. And then imagine a Dalek with a Glasgow accent. That would be it. Oh God. Even the doctor would give up.
Do you want a Dalek curse it?
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm very disappointed that he didn't move it to Scotland.
Well, you have to be careful with these Daleks. I spotted one today, but the last convention I was at, there was one going around asking people to excuse me as he went past. A Dalek saying, excuse me. I had to take him in the back room and give him some serious talking to.
I bet you did, yeah.
There's a Dalek gliding around in the merchant hall that I heard somebody who said, beep beep coming through, so that was that is hilarious. Thank you, it made my day, absolutely made my day. Like it's a truck reversing. So Sylvester, I guess I'd like to ask you, is that we're at the juncture of between doctors at the moment, and obviously Jodie Whittaker will be showing up later this year. When you started as a doctor, you were obviously the 7th incarnation. What do you think she's going through right now? What did you feel in that period before you were broadcast as the Doctor, but when you started recording the show, did you get a sense of what you were getting into, letting yourself in for?
That was a long question, wasn't it?
It was, I'm so sorry.
I forgot what
If you could keep it to
What was the beginning? Yes. Well, I mean, you said, what's she feel like? Hell, I would imagine. I'm not sure, really. But she must be making them now. Is she making them?
Yes, they started.
Oh, well, that's all right. She'll be having a great time.
Yeah.
She'll be having a great time making it. It's the hanging around waiting for something to happen.
As you do.
Yeah, no, I it's very fascinating. When I heard she got it, I sent her, I put out a thing on the internet saying, one small step for women, one giant leap for womankind. When she got this, I thought that was rather appropriate, really, this new female Doctor Who. So it's going to be fascinating, really. Yeah, I'm interested. I didn't realise as I was still the Doctor, I'd have to have a sex change, but hey, it's trendy nowadays, isn't it? Everyone's having sex changes.
Well, as I say to people, I mean, who's to know which Doctor she is? Because we're talking space and time. You could be, in reality, the 19th Doctor, and she could be the first.
I would love to see that anniversary episode. I would love to see that.
Okay, I'm just going with your minds here. You know, who's to say the first Doctor is the first Doctor?
Help!
Bring on Stephen Moffat. I just like mucking around with that because it's like I also believe that there's a room in the TARDIS where all the old Doctors go when they regenerate. So there's some very old Doctors in this room.
Oh yeah.
So occasionally you open it up and there they all are lined up, you know, playing cribbage and stuff like that.
Oh yes. Tom Baker is battling with John.
With John yes.
I mean, I would love to see that room. I imagine the arguments would be spectacular.
There wouldn't be enough room in the room for all the egos.
Bigger on the inside.
That's why Peter Moffat said, oh no, I'm never going to do, you know, 5-ish Doctors or whatever it is. Yeah. I'm not going to have all the... He said, how do you handle all those egos? So he got the one with the biggest ego of them all and put him in it.
Yes. Yes.
Do you get on with the other actors? It's a particular club that you're a part of.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
get on with the guys?
Oh yeah, we do actually get on a lot. I'm very fond of Tom. And the rest, you know, Peter and Paul. I mean, Colin and I, you know, we thing with each other, you know, Colin and I, we tease each other a lot.
Yeah.
But we do get on. And Paul McGann was a mate of mine before he did it.
You did slip in the back door with the 5-ish Doctors.
We did slip in. I was in The Hobbit, you know.
Yeah, what were you? What were you?
I was...
Gandalf's staff?
Yeah, I was... Yeah, I was, technically.
It seems like we're sharing one microphone, so I'm going to hand you back to Des.
What's happening?
What's he doing?
Well, the technician is having a seizure at the minute, so everything's going a bit haywire.
Can they hear?
You can hear us, okay?
At the back?
At the back?
At the back, yeah.
You're getting weirds rather than verbal confirmation, so we'll take that as a plus.
Good.
Come down the front. Come down.
Come down, folks, so grab a seat.
Come down.
There aren't any seats down the front.
Yeah, it's right, Eddie, but...
In the same vein, Terry, do you hang around with any of the previous actors that have played Davros?
Sadly, Michael Wisher is dead, so I don't hang around with him much.
Not yet.
Not yet, no. I'm not far off, we will be meeting up later, but... Dave Goodison I see occasionally. Julian Beach is a sort of like he's a shadow, he doesn't appear anywhere. He's very private. I've never met Julian. So, no. But I meet a lot of the Doctors, you know, we keep on turning up like back pennies. And we were going to do something today, but we can't, can we?
No. Because we're so old we can't remember.
We can't remember things, yeah. We've got my spoons and I
forgot my spoons, yeah.
So there we go.
Have you got a ukulele? A spare ukulele?
Anybody got a couple of spoons on you?
Spoons and ukulele.
Spoons?
No.
We'll have them for you tomorrow, so that's alright, I'll make sure of that. Just a bunch of me study from Doctor Who, so that's because we're here with a predominantly Scottish audience. You have been in some of the biggest staples on Scottish TV, which is Ramsay, Nesbitt and Still Ian.
Yes.
Yay! What was your experiences on those shows?
Well, the Ramsay Nesbitt one, when I got that, I read the script and thought, wow, and I love Ramsay Nesbitt. I thought it was very funny. I thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to be his brother. That'd be brilliant. That'd be great. I'd love to do that. So I came along to do it. And then as I was doing it, I realised that the part wasn't that funny. It was in fact incredibly tragic. And I was doing a scene, and Elaine was watching it. And as I did the scene, I think it was when I came out of the wardrobe or something like that, she started crying. And after we finished, I said, I can be funny, you know, I can be funny. But it was, in a way, it was weird, because, as I say, I thought it was going to be funny. When I started doing it, it wasn't, because I had to do it for real. And he was, you know, I knew about lunatic asylums. You know, I've been in 5 of them already, as a psychiatrist. No, so I knew about them, and so it just became something I had to do for real, and it was very sad. But then, Still Game was brilliant. I loved doing that. I loved it too. In Glasgow, it's really weird. When I go to Glasgow, that's all anyone knows me for. They don't know me for anything else. And I walk down the street, hey Archie! And when I first arrived, I don't know who Archie is. I keep looking for him. Who is this Archie? And then that's me. I did something really stupid. They were doing the big arena show.
Oh, yes.
You know, they did the big arena show. Well, I was able to go along to it because I was doing a play in the Tron, and it was Sunday night. I went along and not thinking. I walked into 10,000 people in the arena. I walked down, and suddenly, all over the place, hey Archie! I thought, that you? And you're like, you and Archie. And I thought, oh my God, I've forgotten I was Archie. And I was trying to sneak in quietly, you know, and then go around and see the lads afterwards. But so no, I did enjoy it, and it's the Still Game one I love is the one in the garden where it opens up, they're sitting in the garden, behind them someone's getting mugged, a dog comes and poos on them, and you know, there's chaos, and then a gang come with a big dog and chase them away. So they build a garden on top of the roof of their tower block, and then they open the garden, big ceremony, and then the bullies arrive with the dog. So one of them takes his stick and throws it over, and the dog jumps over the... I thought that was hilarious. I love that dark humour, glass-reaching humour, it's great.
You never going to show like that back home in Ireland. Not a chance you'd get. That'd probably known as a doctor drama more than anything. You wouldn't get a show like Still Game back home in Ireland.
No?
It would be too tragic.
Yeah.
Because we'd see something like that, and the first word that anybody says, oh, poor dog. Ben, you have any other questions?
Yes, I do. Yes, it's. Thank you very much. Of course, Terry, Davros is not your only role in Doctor Who. Tell us that story. I love this story. Your appearance of Attack of the Cybermen.
Oh, Attack of the Cybermen. Yeah. Matthew Robinson rang me up, you know, after I'd done the first one. He said, would you like to be a real person in Doctor Who? And I said, well, okay, fine. You know. In this thing, Attack of the Cybermen. And I played an undercover cop called Russell, who was trying to infiltrate this gang run by Maurice Colburn. And I got killed at the end of the first series, you know, the first episode. That was it. And I didn't realise until it went out that the TARDIS has a self-cleaning system. If a body hits the floor, the TARDIS immediately clears it away. Because when they ran the rerun of the end of the first thing, my body had gone. And this self-cleaning system had been instituted by the BBC Accounts Department. Because if my body had been there, they'd have to have paid me another fee. So, you know, and also, I mean, I was there and I was meant to be shot in the nose, hit by a Cyberman. And so the Cyberman lurched on, and he was a bit risky, really. Sort of die, you bastard, you know, go on, fall over. And they said, no, you've got to really hit it, really hit it. So, you know, the second time he went whap, and really did take my head off and went across the floor. And they stopped and they said, Terry, look, you're falling across there, but what we can see is the wire that runs from the TARDIS control to the back wall. And we can't see that, we shouldn't be able to see that. Can you Dyson cover it? And I said, yeah, well, I'm 5'6". The wire is 16 feet. How do I do that? You know, so it was sort of little technical challenges like that. And Brian Glover was in it as well. And he was coming in when I was being chopped. They said, bloody hell, I guess you know, with Terry Malloy. So yeah, full of fun. Even if I died at the end of the first one.
Remembrance of the Daleks and Attack of the Cybermen are my two favourite Well, not even classic Doctor Who's full stop. So, so it's a great pleasure to be here with you both. Hand you back to Des again.
So we're going to open it up to the audience. Does anybody have any you see so many hands that are going on there. Tell you what, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Is that okay? Alright, so first of all, what's your name, sir? Andrew, do you have a question for anybody in particular or for both? Awesome, fire away.
Did you get to keep any part of your costumes?
Did you get to keep any part of your costume?
Yes. We didn't get to keep it, we kept it.
So you left it?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
okay. Could we find out what the...
We liberated it.
You freed it?
At the revolution, yeah, we liberated it. No, what happened to me, it was, they gave me a costume anyway for personal appearances. So I used to have it at home. And then when they put the Doctor Who into hiatus, they forgot to ask me for it back. And I forgot to tell them I had it.
And what is it in question? What is the item?
The complete outfit.
The whole thing?
The whole kit and caboodle.
Even the spats?
You know what?
The spats, the shoes? I can't do that. Yes. And Terry, did you go off with half a Dalek?
No, so they're rather good about that. They whipped everything away from me as soon as I can, but I did walk off with my hand.
I hope so.
Thankfully, even though Colin had shot it off. And several of my fingers that he did blow off, which were in revelation of the Dalek. There was a lovely moment when we did that, they blew my fingers off. There was a reverse cut on Colin, and he picked up one of the fingers and shot it up his face. And he said, Colin, no. But yeah, I had the finger and the hand. Used to be on my desk for years, straight to rubber bands. Finally disintegrated.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, it's kind of unfair that Sylvester got keep the entire costume and you got a hand and several fingers.
Several fingers, yeah. Well, you see, they took the whole Davros kit away at the end of it and shoved it into Blackpool, into a museum there.
And then K9 went on fire and burnt it down.
Yeah, absolutely. But actually, they have.
I heard that today.
Yeah, two years ago, Mike Tucker, the model unit guy, rang me up and said, "We found your head." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, we found it in the cupboard." Because when I had the mask done, they did the complete head mould, He said, "We've also found the mask mould as well." So they found the original head and mask mould. He said, "We're going to restore the old Davros." Because we've also found the bottom bit in another cupboard, and Michael wishes a jacket in another one. So we're restoring it for the Doctor Who experience, and they did. So I've got pictures of me with my head. It's like a death mask from when I was 34. It was kind of spooky.
I know.
Really spooky. So yeah, they restored it, so it's now in perpetuity. It is crazy.
Yeah, I want to say something. I mean, something else I did get, I just remembered, but the spoons I played in the first, Rainnie, story. Time of the Rainnie, where I discovered these, because we were having Jonathan Turner loves to have a party when on vacation. So we had a party, and we all did our party piece. Bonnie Langford, she just stole the night by being a great singing diva and dancer and all that kind of stuff. And I pathetically played the spoons. And John said, "We must have that in Doctor Who." And I thought he was joking. The first scene I did, I end up arriving, I go into the engine, and I come out with two things that look vaguely like spoons. And then I get to play them all over Kate O'Mara's front.
Oh.
And my God, those spoons did bounce, I can tell you. So, I mean, those spoons are very dear to me, and I got those at home.
For those of you who don't understand the importance of that, you're probably too young. Wait a few years, you will laugh then. Now, do you have a question? So what did you know? And do you have a question for anybody in the Just a general question?
During all the years on the show playing with Dr. Van what was your favourite co-star that you worked with?
Very good question. I'm very good use of the word respectfully.
My favourite co-star was him.
Go on, Terry.
I mean, if he was not here, I'd tell you someone else.
Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, Colin.
Colin. Yeah, well, I was Colin for a little while.
You were, yeah. That's the bit I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's a very difficult one. I mean, I remember, gosh, I'm so bad at remembering names. I had such fun working with, what was the story in the housing, the big tall housing where the eight Paradise Towers. And who was
Richard Briers?
Richard Briers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Working with Richard Briers was hilarious. It was, and we had such a laugh. I enjoyed working with him. And then there was another one I did where the guy whose face melted.
Great Dragonfire.
Dragonfire, yeah.
It was Sophie's first one.
Yeah, and that was, what's his name in that? He was great. What was his name? We couldn't act together. We just laughed every time we tried to say the lines.
Yeah.
And I had to, I looked at this part of his head, and he looked at my chin, and then whenever we made eye contact, we just kind of about laughing. It was fun. Probably murdered a few enemies, and he melted.
I have a feeling that nearly every one of Sylvester McCoy's stories on Doctor Who will end with, and then he melted. It's like a common thing that happens.
Well, that's happened, isn't it?
Did that answer your question? Yeah, awesome. Yes, we have.
What? We answered your question?
Come here.
Must be a first.
Come here. Look at that.
It reminds me of someone. It'll come to me. I can't think of who it is.
Yes, he has come as a body number. Do you have a specific question for somebody? Oh, hold on. Okay, and do you have a particular question for somebody?
Yeah, I've got a question for Sylvester McCoy. Yes, I was just wondering, seeing the title sequence, there's the face is silver. Is that actually face paint, or is that like effects, or did they actually paint it?
No, they actually painted my face. But they left a hole so I could speak.
When does it wear off?
When is it wear off?
When does it wear off?
Has it come back again?
Yeah.
Oh, the makeup must be going away. Yes. No, yeah. I've no idea why we did it, but I'm glad we did, because I thought it was rather effective, really. Yeah. So, GMT's idea.
Well, thank you, Seventh Doctor, for asking the Seventh Doctor that question.
And welcome.
I have a friend.
I have a friend.
Apparently you do, Sylvester. And your question, sir?
My question is for Sylvester. The Cybermen don't you always have definite predictions or designs for the classic series, and I'm wondering, out of all the different designs, which one is your favorite?
Which Cybermen design is your favorite?
None of them. But I will tell you this about Cybermen. You should ask that question of Sophie Aldred. Because when we were doing Simple Nemesis, the thing about the Cybermen was they were very tall.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were very handsome, tall model men. And Sophie fell in love with all of them. She fancied every one of them. So she might know, I don't know. The Winway also had, used to have Cyberman crutch, which were filming, and the costume used to split at the crutch area. So they had to stick it out with tape. And Sophie used to volunteer for that bit.
Can we confirm that with Sophie when she is here tomorrow?
Please do.
Can we say that that came from you?
I shouldn't be here, I'll be hiding.
So are you
Hello, Sophie.
tomorrow? Are you both here tomorrow? Tell you what, I will look at yourself and you can ask that question to Sophie when she's here. Okay, now we are running a bit short on time unfortunately, so you have your question. I'm so sorry. What's your name?
Actually,
You have your own question. And do you have a question for both gentlemen or one in particular?
Sylvester,
You're very popular today, Sylvester. And what's your question?
how many rooms are in Target?
Actually, that should be a question for Ben, because he might be able to answer that more than anything. But how many rooms are in the TARDIS?
An infinite amount of room. But they got rid of this, they dried out the swimming pool because every time we crash landed we get flooded.
And is very true. That has actually happened in the most recent series of things. Yes.
I just made that up years ago. Someone stole my idea!
Yeah, I know.
Stephen Moffat, during Matt Smith's first episode, when he crashed, he fell in the swimming pool and it flooded the TARDIS, which is why it had to travel 5 minutes forward.
Thief!
Moffat!
I want my cut. No, I made that joke years ago when I first got the job about the
Moffat
job.
must have heard you. He must have heard
I
you.
did, yeah, okay. I should have said to time it and made it more interesting.
How many rooms do you think are in the TARDIS, Terry?
Well, I'm still counting them. I'm in there.
What number
Because
are you
there's a character called Stoyan, who is a Time Lord, and the big finish within the series called, it was a companion chronicles, and Stoyan was a rigger of TARDISes, and he used to decommission them, and he was on board the first TARDIS when the Doctor stole it. And so he's constantly trying to chase the Doctor down to get the TARDIS back to Gallifrey. So Stoyan is in there somewhere, counting the rooms and trying to check which one he can actually utilise in order to get the Doctor back.
Oh, God, I hope he catches up to Jodie Whittaker.
Now, if that comes out as a story, if Moffat's stolen that,
We'll get together and get a lawyer.
That's copyright Malloy.
The Doctor and Davros sue Doctor.
You heard it here first.
Listen, folks, we do have to wrap this up. If you didn't get to ask a question today, please feel free to come back tomorrow, or Sylvester and Terry will be at the table so you can ask your questions then. But for now, can I please get just a huge round of applause for the camera?